Hello, everyone, and welcome to I almost said this week's, but it's this fortnight's, this bi-weekly AMA session with, my name is Steve Kuchin, and I'm joined here today by the amazing Tao Shang. Hi, hello, Tao Shang.
Hello, Steve. Hello, everyone. This is Tao Shen. Nice to meet you again.
Indeed, good to see everyone again. We hope you are all doing really well in whatever the part of the world you're in. This is the web from Lilypad Network, and this is the bi-weekly, fortnightly, whichever you use in your part of the world. This is the bi-weekly AMA session. So this is your chance to ask us pretty much any question you want. Almost any question you want. I could think of a Pinocchio riddle, but we'll save that one for the end if I remember. Anyway, this is your chance to ask us any questions that you have regarding Lilypad Network. Be you a resource provider, so sharing your GPU into the network, a consumer of GPU. Maybe you've got a job that you want to run. Maybe you've got some sort of use case in mind that you'd love to reach out about. Whatever it may be, we're here to answer your questions. Of course, the other way to get in touch is to join our Discord. So I'll put the link on the screen for that. So lilypad.team/discord is the link you're looking for. We've got a amazing growing community of enthusiasts in there at the moment. We actually clicked over, I think, 3,500 members, which is phenomenally cool. So no matter what you want to or how you want to get involved, maybe you just want to connect to other folks running AI-centric or heavy compute workloads, then this is the Discord community for you. So join us on Discord, lilypad.team/discord, and connect in where you can, where you want to. We do have an action-packed show planned, or AMA planned, for this episode. If you have missed our previous episodes, check us out on the Lilypad YouTube, which you can get to from the lilypad.tech website. I think you might be able to also get it on LinkedIn we only just started going to Twitch recently, but there's probably some stuff you can watch on there as well. But whatever it is, we're happy to be here and happy to answer the questions that we can. I actually think there's a few questions in the chat already. If you do have a question, please drop it into the chat on whatever platform you're on. Any questions, comments, or emojis are always welcome in there. And we'll do our best to answer them. And if we can't, join us on Discord, because we can have a discussion with the community in there, with our ambassadors and with the community at large, which is the open source way. So, but we do have an action-packed show. We have a couple really cool announcements to make, and we've got some stuff to hint about for next week's next week AMA edition, which is the North American edition. It's in a very different time zone to this, so for those folks who may be sleeping during this one, again, it's recorded on our YouTube, so you can catch it there. But there's some big announcements coming next week. I will tell you, it is about the open source program, which is really, really cool. So it's totally worth tuning in for. I mean, it is normally worth tuning in for, but especially this next episode, because it's going to be talking through how it works, how to get involved, and I believe how you can get some Lily bits. But tune in for that one. Tune in and see how you can get involved in the project. So where to begin? Let's go through some of the, I already talked about that one. There we go. I tried to replace this meme earlier, but like I kind of like that one. It's just cute. It's very Web3, I thought, so I'm going to leave it there for now. But on the news front, we'll open with a bit of news first this week. Not last week, but last episode. We got a bit sidetracked with all the questions and all the geeking out and all the fun stuff. So let's do news first, and then I'm going to check the comments, because I did see there was a couple of questions in there. And keep those questions coming. We do want to get interrupted. We also just want to talk about this stuff quick. So for last episode, we talked about the upcoming Pond-side chats. I'm happy to announce there is a date set. So 9th of September, CEST, which is the 10th of September, AEST, which is the time zone I'm in. Stay tuned for links. There is some registration links coming up this week, I believe. But we're talking to the amazing Dapper Dan. And many people will know Dapper Dan's work from, well, the Web3 industry and all those amazing videos that Dapper Dan puts out. Anyway, we're fortunate enough for our very first Pond-side chat, aka Fireside chat, just Lilypadified. Oh, that's a good word. Lilypadified. There we go. Dapper Dan will be joining us for the first one, and we look forward to geeking out with Dan on, well, just a whole bunch of different topics. So get those questions ready. We will have some questions that we're going to ask, but we'll also be looking for audience feedback during the session, or not feedback, audience questions during the session. Looking to find out how Dan got involved as a developer, how Dan found like Web3, and all sorts of different topics. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. Speaking of memes, funny everyone should mention that. I mean, you may have caught it last episode where we talked about the meme contest, the Galaxy meme contest running at the moment. You can find out more about that in the link I will drop into the chat right now, which should go through to most places. There we go. Maybe not LinkedIn. If you're watching on LinkedIn, check out our socials on other platforms because you'll be able to get the link there. But our meme contest is underway. Now, there is cash prizes for the top 3 best memes, so it is worth checking out. There is also other Galaxy challenges on there and quests on there. So on the Galaxy site, so worth checking out if you haven't yet. Wanted to share some submissions and some ideas for submissions because you can have a bit of fun with this. You can get a little bit I want to say cheeky, but I don't know whether that's the right word, but you can have some fun with it by all means. So here's some submissions we've seen so far. Now, this is the Joker and a clown, the Joker clown meme standing in front of stairs, and the title is showing the new person at work how to decline every GPU quota request. Now, I believe this is in reference to, for anyone that's tried to get a GPU on a cloud provider, which we did in an earlier episode, it's a little bit tricky these days. In fact, there's reserved instances that I have that we can't even start up now because the GPU is not available, which is, well, kind of annoying when you're trying to do stuff. I think that might be in reference to that. And there's a couple of others that we've got that kind of talk to that as well. Actually, I shared some last, and we put some on the Lilypad socials too. But there was some memes I shared last episode on this as well. Here's one with 2 frogs talking. One said, the king of the pond says, "King of the pond, but still afraid of flies." And the frog says, "Sure you are." I get that one, but it's still fun. It's still fun. Waiting for that GPU upgrade, and then there's a whole bunch of frogs like staring blankly, trying to wait for the GPU upgrades, which, I mean, everyone's after the A100s at the moment, right? And no one can get them because everyone's buying them. And when I say everyone, I mean, well, every big company's buying them because they get first preference. And that's what Lilypad solves. So like that one. This is a carton of milk. This is a classic missing on the side of a carton of milk, and it's a GPU. It has a title GPU access. This is "Have you seen me? If found, contact everyone." Which, yeah, trying to get people trying to get access to GPUs. Now, I've got there's one more, and then I've got some suggested images for people to use, some inspiration, if you will, because you can have some fun. Anyway, this is Jeopardy, and the question is, how do you get GPU access without breaking the bank? A, sell everything I own. B, wah. C, use Lilypad network. D, in my dreams. I mean, it's probably C, but I would phone a friend, just saying. Oh wait, we've got one more. Then they've got 2 inspiration. This is from the Avengers, and it's got Captain America going. It's called OpenAI because it's open sourced, right? And then the middle caption is just Tony Stark staring blankly, going like, you've said, looking at him strangely. And then it's just got Captain America Civil War. So there's a civil war breaking up. Anyway. Now, some inspiration for those that haven't entered yet, or maybe you have and you just want to enter another entry. I found some photos floating around the internet, and I thought, or some images, and I thought these could be fun to caption. I mean, here we have Mark Zuckerberg and the NVIDIA, I can't remember his name, the CEO from NVIDIA standing there, and Mark Zuckerberg's holding the mic and talking to him. Now, this could be fun to caption, like the caption of Mark saying, "I asked OpenAI to make me like Eminem," and like he's kind of looking very Eminem-y, like a bit of a rapper. Anyway, this is the type of thing you can have a bit of fun with it. Anyway, this is a cat. Oh, these are the giant lily. I think they're from Southeast Asia. These giant lily pads. I don't know if anyone's seen them before, but they're really amazing because they will literally hold a lot of weight. which kind of represents, the Lilypad network. But you could have some fun captioning that as well. Maybe it's, my resource provider determining hash rate to be able to know what sort of jobs to run, like being able to carry the load, etc. Like you can maybe might need to workshop that, but you get where I'm going with this. Anyway, if you haven't yet, there's still time to enter into the competition. So again, check out the Galaxy site for more info. You can click through and get your entry in to get in the running. There's already 161 people entered, so get those entries in. It is running through to the 21st of September. That's GMT plus 10, I believe. But anyway, still plenty of time to get those entries in, get some inspiration going. Jump on the Farcaster meme channel, for example, and have a look at some of the memes that are appearing there and see if you get some inspiration from that. That was probably all the smaller news I had. Let's check the channel for questions, because I did see you through. Tao Shang, did you have anything you wanted to add in chat while I'm going through the questions?
Yes. Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you for introducing the Pondside event and the mini hackathon event together. I think that is very interesting and that is related. For me, I have questions is because they are related about Lilypad. We, especially for the Chinese communities and Asian communities, we know that the fair side conversation or fair side discussion, but now we got that pond side, yes, and pond is related with Lilypad. So here I want to ask questions for me and also for the community. Is do you know? Is there a reason the backgrounds about the team make gets the name of the Lilypad of the project name? The reason, the backgrounds, and also the backgrounds of the pond sides discussion, and then we have kind of Lilypad hackathon. I think you can introduce some backgrounds and the history information for the community that could be better. For the community have a good idea, not only for the pond site discussion and also for the hackathon event and the mini hackathon. And maybe it's good for the community to understand what is Lilypad and where Lilypad come from. Yeah, thank you.
That is a great question. Just before I do, if you've just joined us, this is the Lilypad bi-weekly AMA. If you have any questions, comments, or emojis, please drop them into the chat. My name is Steve Kuchit, and I'm joined here today with Tao Shang. That is a great question about the Lilypad background. And essentially, well, I like to think of Lilypad a bit like Airbnb for GPUs. So as more AI-centric or heavy compute workloads sort of ramp up more, and people are after more heavy compute resources, GPUs are extremely hard to get. In fact, if you go to your local cloud provider, or just a cloud provider, and try and get a GPU-centric instance, it's not only kind of going to cost you, well, a lot of money, but also they're going to be very, very hard to get. There was an episode we ran a little while ago. I want to say about a month ago, but it's probably longer because time's really weird these days. There's so much to do. Anyway, we basically tried to set up a resource provider, a Lilypad resource provider on a GPU instance on a cloud provider. And I could not find, through 64 regions, I could not find one available, which was extremely annoying, especially because you may have just that one workload you need to run or that one container that you need to run. And this is what Lilypad's trying to solve, is creating a decentralized and democratized access to GPU resources. So we run off-chain compute with on-chain verification. And what that means is Lilypad has resource providers that provide GPU resources to the Lilypad network, and people can use that to run GPU or heavy-centric workload or heavy AI-centric workloads on network. So you have your containerized workload. It basically runs against GPU, and then results are returned via on-chain guarantees. So we have a mediator that basically verifies that the job ran as expected. using reproducible deterministic outputs. And what that means is I can take my containerized workload, run it on a Lilypad GPU, and then that result can then be verified that everything ran successfully. And so here's the result you're wanting. And then if you're looking to do refinement to that particular workload, maybe you get it back and then decide that it ran successfully, but it wasn't the result you're looking for. You can run it again. And at a fraction, not only at a fraction of the cost of what I'm going to say a cloud provider would charge, but also in a more timely manner because you can get access, ad hoc access to those GPU resources, which is really cool. Actually, one thing I can share too is just getting the link available, although I probably already have it loaded. If you go to info.lilypad.tech, actually, it's probably a banner for this. There actually isn't. Oh, maybe, no, there isn't. Hang on, let me add that. Add
Yeah.
banner. There we go.
And also, Steve, I wanted to also give some why we have the name of the Lilypad. Why we choose the Lilypad name? Where is the connection between the Lilypad name with the GPU? Can you share some history information about that?
I can. 2 secs. That link below it will show you the number of GPU resources and some of the metrics behind the network in near real time. Reason why I'm mentioning this is we are growing substantially and very, very quickly. And last week we actually hit 950 nodes being online all at the same time, which was really cool. Anyway, great question about the history of the name behind Lilypad. There's probably a few different answers for this one. Mine in particular is I always like to think of the Lilypads being able to support, well, being similar to running like little containerized workloads or pods, if you will, so Lily pods, being able to run little workloads. And if you think of a pond with Lilypads on it, there'll be a whole bunch all over the place, like decentralized. And so, yeah, that's my reference to it. Maybe that's not the right answer. Actually, maybe we should get developer Ali on here, our CEO, one day. Maybe we need a pond-side chat with developer Ali. Oh, I'm gonna talk to somebody about make that happen. I actually hadn't thought of that. Oh, that's a good question. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that one. Anyway, let me just check through and see if you, whoops, let me take that banner off screen. If you have just joined us, this is the bi-weekly Lilypad AMA. If you have any questions, comments, or emojis, please drop them into the chat as we're going. Feel free to interrupt us. It doesn't have to be related to what we're talking about. We have stuff planned, but we also love to get, love to be interrupted, love to be disrupted, because that's what we're all about. So yeah, make sure you drop those questions in if you do have them. Cool. We do have some questions, comments coming through, which is amazing. So let me, I was just reading through. Let me take on a couple of these. Somebody's asked when's TGE, which is of course our mainnet launch, which we are gearing up for, and that is the point of our current phase. So our current network rollout phase, where we're pre-mainnet launch. We're in the incentivized testnet phase, and this is all about building for scale, because once we go mainnet, it's like full scale, like all systems go and ready for a big launch. To get ready for that, we're currently in our testing phase, so we're getting everything up and running and ready. And shout out to the community for helping us do that as well, because as more resources come online, more resource providers come online, and more traffic goes through the network, we can really start to test it and make sure everything's as shipshape as it needs to be before we go for the big launch. Because naturally, like once you're doing that very long road trip, or the car's in full motion, it's a little trickier to change the engine and upgrade things. Not impossible, just a little trickier. So we're gearing up for that big launch. TGE, there's some announcements coming up about that soon, so stay tuned for that one. Actually, that's probably a really good segue to talk a little bit about, whoops, I did have, oh, there it is there. Our blog, So we've got another thing I want to talk about on a more recent blog post in a little bit, but this is the project report for August, which is worth a read up here. And you can find out more about the wider project and how each of the components are running and whatever else. But blog.lilypad.tech is the link you're looking for. Let's see, I think I've got one for, what did I do? Oh, I'll just have that now. We have got blog.lilypad.tech. Then, oh, my Bluetooth is not happy today. There we go. Got it. This is the link you're looking for to read all about the project report and a lot of how-to articles and just articles that we're publishing. So have a read of that. There is also the more information on the incentivized testnet as well, which is also, I thought I had, oh, there it is. I have a short link to that one, which is lilypad.tech/incentivenet. So you can read all about how it works, how to get involved, and everything you need to know about Lilybits on lilypad.tech/incentivenet. One thing we also had to talk about too is not going to go into details today about it, but next week's AMA in the North American region, Alex and the DevRel team will be going through the open source program, which I believe has some Lilybit components attached to it, or will do very in the near future. But worth checking out. We've already got some amazing contributions to the community and to the project from some really cool people building out some fun stuff. Actually, we are going to look at the containerized version of Lilypad in a little bit today, or at least, unless someone interrupts us, which if you do have a question, please drop it into the chat. Speaking of, I did see someone else asking a question. Actually, just quickly, one thing I did make a mental note to mention here, because I'm really excited about this one, is we're about to launch open telemetry in the network, which is really, really cool and exciting, because in a decentralized network deployment, being able to identify and gather logging from all the different resource providers and moving parts is extremely tricky. So we've worked out a way to do it, and we've got open telemetry, for those that are familiar with it, being deployed in an upcoming update within, I'm going to say, the next week, probably the next few days. What this will mean is we'll be able to spot and fix issues quicker across the whole network, including deployed resources. So resource providers, for example, will be able to help triage and fix any configuration or deployment issues that they might be having, or also, and again, we're in that testnet phase, be able to identify issues and adjustments we need to make to the wider network. So this is a really, 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 really big update because it's going to give us a lot more visibility through, well, everything. The one thing we have, and I will say here, one thing we have got in place for this is an opt-in, opt-out mechanism for resource providers to opt out of sending open telemetry data through. And there's a write-up coming through to talk about how this works and what sort of things we're gathering. Like, we're not gathering sensitive information, for example, which for anyone that's familiar with open telemetry, one of the things I really like about it is you can exclude certain information points that you don't want included in the logging. What it does allow for, though, is like literal step trace right through the entire invocation from call to execution and results being returned, which is pretty cool. Because yeah, we will literally be able to find issues a lot faster and get them mediated and get things up and running quicker, which is good for everyone. Anyway, check that out if you want to find out more on the telemetry or any of the project stuff that we've been working on. And stay tuned for some really big announcements within the next week or throughout the next week as well. Yeah. Right, we've got some more questions. Yep.
So, Steve, for the last screen, you just shared. I mean, for the community resource providers, yes, here. I think I can add some words about this. Is I think that is public. We have partnership with Titan Network. That is maybe I don't know, maybe top 10 or top 5 biggest DP networks. We are cooperated to onboarding more and more GPUs to Lilypad network, and also we are cooperate with Titan network, Titan storage and basin storage to build the life cycle of the Lilypad job. And I think Steve could also introduce some about that. I think that is public. Yeah.
Part of it was. That's fine. Spoilers, spoilers. We do have some very big, very big partnerships that we're working on announcing. And one of the things I love the most is being able to integrate a lot of that componentry into the wider network. So storage, for example, is something we've been working very closely with a number of people on. So data storage, and also actually, one of the team this morning was talking about building a module that was 90 gigs. So a containerized workload that was 90 gigs in size, that is 90 gigs in size, which is, well, that is crazy. Crazy cool, because I mean, the resource providers can handle it. Like those GPUs that we're using to run these workloads, they can handle that sort of workload. But yeah, we do have some really cool proof of concepts and also partnerships coming to be announced, or being announced as we speak. So, or about to be announced. Anyway, we've been really busy. It's been a lot of work.
Yes. Yeah.
Just going to go through some of the questions and comments because they're backing up at the moment. Hello to, and I hope I say this right, I'm going to attempt it. Rodenbreck, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to put this comment on the screen. And hello and welcome to the AMA. Rodenbreck says, I broke the ice and took my first task from the community. The one related to CI unit tests. I already had an introductory call with Brian. That is amazing, and thank you for your contribution. Like we couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without having community like you involved. So thank you. There's a question on the back of that, which says, I wanted to ask you what the push procedure will be. Do you have enough licenses GitHub, or are we forking the project? That is a good question. Tune in to, or at least watch the recording if you're, depending what time zone you're in the next, and I think there's actually going to be a blog post on this too, pretty sure, for the open source contribution announcement, because there's a whole bunch of stuff around this, but you should be able to just do a public like pull request, and then it gets reviewed. There's a whole CLA bot signing thing alongside that as well. So, but stay tuned. There will be more details on this as well. And we are looking to incentivize those community contributions with Lilybits too, as part of that program. So stay tuned for that one. Then another question around the OpenTelemetry dashboard will be public. In the short term, it may not be while we just figure out some of the mechanisms, but there is plans to make that available to resource providers, and then also publicly open that up either through an API or equivalent. But stay tuned for that one. And that is a really good question too. So, because yeah, we would expect that community would be definitely using that to be able to help triage and solve issues as they come up as well. Right. Well, if you've just joined us, hello, I'm Steve Kuchin, and this is Tao Sheng. We are from Lilypad Network. This is the bi-weekly AMA session for the APAC region, for the Southern Hemisphere, for this region of the world, for those of us that are awake right now. Or if maybe you're awake in the northern hemisphere and this just worked out to be a really good time for you. So whatever it may be, welcome. So glad you're here. If you do have any questions or comments or emojis, please drop them into the chat as we go. We might be talking about something, but that doesn't matter because we will get to your question. And if we don't know, we will find out. You can also be on this if you're watching the recording. Hello from the past. I hope you're all well. If you are watching from the past or you haven't yet, you can join us in our Discord community on lilypad.team/Discord. Link is on screen. And we've already got a growing community of enthusiasts there, people sharing their GPUs into the network via a resource provider deployment. Speaking of, maybe we'll talk about that one in a sec. We have a container. We have containerized resource provider. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Shout out to the Titan team. Well, I don't want to get sidetracked. Anyway, maybe you've got a really cool project that you're looking to build out and you need access to GPU, but you can't get it because, well, they're really expensive or you just can't find them because everyone else has bought them. By everyone else, I mean all those companies. Whatever it may be, join us on Discord. And yeah, we would love to connect. Maybe you're not working on anything at all and you just want to connect to community and see what everyone else is building out, how everyone else is getting involved, then please join us there. Always looking to grow the community. We have over 3,000 members now, which is great. Another comment, 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Wow, respect. GM in your 5 a.m. But yeah, 5 a.m. in the morning. I hope your Wednesday is going as well as it is here. Right. On that note, I think we should talk about containers, Xiaosheng. Oh, we've been talking about this one for like many, many episodes. We're saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Now I believe the Titan crew helped work on this one too. This is something they've been tinkering with. Where is? Let me bring the code up. There we are. There. So we do have a containerized version of Lilypad Resource Provider, which is, I'm going to say, still in beta phase. It's got to be pretty close. And again, this is open source. This is public. So if you're looking through it, if you think there's something you can add to it, or something you can help, or some comments, or something you can do to it to tweak it and make it better, then please contribute. We're always looking for people to get involved in the project. It's an open source project, and like all good open source projects, we want the community to contribute as much as they can or as much as they're able, even if it's just doing testing on things like this, on this containerized Docker file. Well, not containerized Docker file, on this Docker file. But yeah, this is really cool because like it makes deploying and resource provider a lot easier, a lot quicker. You can still use our existing method. Let me bring it up. Yeah. Docs, that's what I'm looking for. You can use our existing deployment method. That does still work. It's a lot more in the weeds, shall I say. It's a lot more DevOps centric. You have to have a Ubuntu instance set up, or potentially a Windows instance set up, which our Windows deployment or our Windows installation deployment method is currently very, very alpha. So always looking for contributors to that. But this new containerized method means everything is contained, everything's ready to go, everything deploys as it should, and literally all you have to do is like Docker deploy, or deploy a Dockerized container as you normally would. We'll step through that in a sec. Xiaosheng, did you have anything to add to this one? Because I know you've been working pretty closely on the team with this one.
Yes. About the first things I wanted to say about the Dockerfare, about resource provider, about and the Lilypad. This is you can think of this is official reference from Lilypad team. You can have your own Dockerfare for your own environment. You know, different teams have a different environment, and maybe you have a little bit difference in the Dockerfare. So you can change, you can modify this Dockerfare for your own environment. But I can introduce maybe the sector of this Dockerfare. It is quite easy. You can see here, from top to down, maybe it's better. Yeah. Yeah, the first line is about the argument parameters and the environments, and that is, I think, specific to Lilypad. Yes, the from is to import some basic driver from the GPU. You can see, and some worker dir and some parameters, the configurations. You can see their comments here. The default environment variables, and yeah, you can change. You can have your own configuration. Yeah. please.
Yeah, one thing I was just going to say quickly, yeah, things like the Web3 private key, if you've got on your instance that you're running, that you're deploying this onto, if you've already got like a key store on there or whatever, you can swap that out for your key store reference to be able to keep things like your Web3 private key even more secret. Of course, if you haven't, you can run it from the Docker file, not recommended. But yeah, make sure you keep those private keys as secret as you possibly can. So if you are using a key store, like Tao Sheng was saying, you can modify this your own version of this and take that out, and then just include that through whatever key store access method that you would otherwise be using.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. For next one is install the necessary dependency. And yeah, and the most big and the most important dependency is backyard. That is, I think you just use this command to install the backyard. Just care about the version of the backyard. Make sure the version is the right version for the Lilypad. And
Yeah,
the next one, yeah, please.
So I'm just going to say, if anyone wants to tinker around, we've done a little bit, but obviously we've been pretty busy building out a network as it's been growing and scaling like crazy. But if anyone is able to also get the latest version of Bacahal running, we would love to talk to you too. So join us on Discord or drop in a pull request. I think the latest version's 1.4.1 from memory. Which brings a couple new features. Some of them kind of break some of our existing stuff, so we haven't been able to quite get it working yet. But if anyone's able to get that working and wants to contribute, like, would love for someone to contribute that. If not, again, you can tweak this to whatever you need it to be.
Yes, yeah, we can explore together for the new version. So yeah, to support the new version. And the next part is build and install the Lilypad. That is same with the command line. So yeah, here is let me see.
Bases build GPU. These look like runtime.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
see,
CUDA.
CUDA related. It's GPU driver related. Base build. Yeah, go build. I just build the software as a final and move the generate the Lilypad binary and move the binary to the right place. And yeah, add both Lilypad and backyard to the path. And create startup script. Yeah, that is the same, exactly the same with the command line when you run the Lilypad in your shell command shell environment or other environments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we have the community from Lilypad. From Titan team. They have built their own Lilypad version, container version. And you can also ask, discuss. Let us discuss in the Discord if you want to reference the Titan team's work.
That's the link. Yeah, lilypad.team/discord is the link you were looking for. Yes, and a special mention to the Titan team. I know they've been working pretty closely with the engineering team and yourself, Tao Sheng, to help contribute this, which is amazing. For those that haven't given it deployed yet, may not have deployed yet, you can find out how to. That's not the link I was looking for. Where is it? Installation. That's CLI, troubleshooting, run a node. That's the one I'm looking for. You can find out how to run a node using the, I want to say traditional method, but I don't think, actually, the non-containerized method of the deployment, the existing method. You can find out more about how that works here. It's obviously a lot more hands-on because there's a lot more to install, update, prerequisites to have in place before you actually do the Lilypad and Bacahal installment. But you can find out how to do that here. Essentially, that that Docker file we just looked at, it does all this all in one go, which is super cool because it makes it a lot easier to get up and running. That said, if your preferred method is the I'm going to say DevOpsy version or the more hands-on, I mean, I love a good CLI myself. Just saying, like being able to like just type stuff out and see everything running. And there's those commands. Oh, actually, drop in chat. You know, as DevOps folk, those commands you just do without even thinking. Like you literally change into a directory and automatically type ls to be able to see all the files in there, even if you don't actually need to know them. Like I do that all the time. You change directory into a thing and you just type ls, and then all of a sudden, like you got a list up and you're like, I didn't actually need to see what was in there. I just did it because like I instinctively do it. PWD is probably another one. Oh, I found out what that stood for the other day. Oh, that's right. It was PWD, which shows you the pathway that you're currently like located in when you're navigating a directory. Actually stands for please, which directory is this? Is this? It was something like that. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, this is the more granular way to, or more DevOps style approach to being able to deploy a resource provider. Whereas the new containerized Dockerfile version basically does it all for you. It's a lot easier to get up and running, a lot quicker to get up and running anyway. But either one will still work just fine. You can find out more on our blog. Phil, one of our amazing DevRel, has done a really good write-up talking about how it works and how to get it up and running, and well, troubleshooting as well, which is pretty cool. I'll drop the link for that into the chat. Speaking of, we do have some comments in there. Present working directory. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put that on screen in a sec. I just read it out loud. Oh, I saw, was it Linux, the Linux group? Okay, for context, I was getting ahead of myself. That's the links there. I just put it to the chat and I will bring it up on screen. There we go. So blog.lilypad.tech /run a node on Lilypad using Docker is the article, or you can just visit blog.lilypad.tech and you'll be able to get to it. It's the latest post. So you can find out more about how it all works, how to get started, and troubleshooting there. I was reading through more comments. Keep those comments coming. If you've just joined us, we don't have almost out of time, a little bit of time left. But yeah, this is the bi-weekly AMA session with Steve Kuchin and Tao Sheng from the Lilypad network. And we're looking for your questions, comments, and emojis into the chat or into our Discord as we answer any questions anyone has. If you don't have one, that's fine. We're just geeking out with some of the latest stuff that the team's been working on. Rod Breck says, with Docker, we will know, let me just put it on screen. With Docker, we will know that we all have the same commands and the same prerequisite. Done an excellent job. Thank you for that. And then also adds, I was thinking it would be more useful if the image was pushed into the Docker registry with tags, the latest version to match the main GitHub repo. Yeah, we were debating this as to which container store to use. We're currently using the GitHub container store, mostly because we're getting a lot of pull requests, a lot of images being pulled down, and we would blow the Docker plan in a matter of minutes. So yeah, we've been using the GitHub store just because it's free at the moment on the plan that we're on, which is kind of cool because we got into the GitHub startup program some months ago. So we have an enterprise plan at the minute, so we're kind of using that one at the moment. But yeah, Docker Hub is a good idea too, and we have definitely explored it. We've also used ECS as well a little bit, but again, it's like the GitHub one's kind of free. But if you have issues with that, actually let us know, because we don't, always looking for that type of operational logistical feedback, especially as we scale. And then also, and what I was reading before, PWD, present working directory. I saw, maybe it was a parody, the Linux group on social, who I love to follow because they're always coming up with some fun memes and whatnot. had a different version the other day, but I like your one better because it sounds more official. So PWD is present working directory. Yes. That's all the questions we have at the minute. What else did we have to go through in this session? I think we may have the main thing. Actually, I think that was all. We have done some updates to the document to our docs recently too, and again, we're always looking for community to contribute to it. So if you're going through our documentation, if you do find something you think needs to be added, rewritten, or just maybe even reworded in a different way to make it easier to understand, maybe it's to add more examples in, then please let us know. Again, join our Discord, lilypad.tech/discord, or you can open a pull request for the on the Lilypad GitHub. Actually, I can just go there. Lilypad GitHub. Oops, no, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Oh, I thought I could cheat and just go straight to docs. You can. There we go. There. We also have. Actually, we don't. I don't think we've talked about this one yet. We do actually have a Lilypad awesome GitHub repo. So this is the doc site there, and yeah, you can contribute directly to the repository itself. It's public, so people can contribute to it. And yeah, feel free to, if you, like I said, if you do find something, like let us know. The other one we do have is a Lilypad awesome repo, which has all things resources, Lilypad centric resources all in one place. Drop the link for that in now and bring it up on the screen. Oh, the image didn't load. Let's go with that one. That's better. That's the repo. If you're looking to get started, maybe you're looking to run a particular module, or you want to find out how to build a module. Like this is the we actually have the boilerplate on there, but boilerplate repo on there. Oh, that was a tongue twister. As well. So if you were looking to build out a module and get started, there's all the resources you need all in one handy place, and then everything right through to updating resource providers, software, for example. So here we have, and I know we talked about it earlier, get that off screen, the Windows version of the Lilypad resource provider repo is public, but it's still very, very alpha. We have had a lot of community feedback and contributes to this, so people being able to add to it, I think is like amazing, and people helping make it better for everyone to be able to use it, and to just having the community get involved is always great. So again, thank you to those that have contributed to this one, to this repo. Please keep those coming. Install Docker. See, everyone's got to do that. We actually have two different versions of the Windows Alpha deployment. There's one for WSL and also for regular Windows as well. Again, and we flagged it as experimental, it's still very much a work in progress for that particular one. If you are on Windows, we were talking about this morning in some of the team meetings, but if you are running Windows, for now, if you want a more stable version of the software of the resource provider deployment, I would look at using Docker for now, because of that containerized environment. Kind of keeps everything as away from the operating system as possible, so that everything can run pretty easily. That said, there are people that are running resource providers using the Windows deployments. So, and again, please contribute where you can. On the other side of things, we have a number of modules that you can run, and then also a whole bunch of use cases as well, which is pretty cool. And this is all public. Again, you can contribute to it. So if you find something, or you have some ideas that you think would go well, like, please feel free to either open a pull request or join us on Discord as well. I think that's about it, unless anyone has any questions or they want to drop into the chat. Tao Sheng, did you have anything else you wanted to add for this episode?
For this part, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just circling. What else have we been up to? Yeah, we've literally seen. Actually, let's bring the info dashboard up and go have a quick look at that. Yeah, we literally saw an increase, quite a substantial increase in node activity. And by nodes, I mean resource providers, GPUs being shared by resource providers onto the network in the last few days. Well, I say last few days, but it was like towards the end of last week, which was amazing. And it's at now 783 again. Cool. Gonna be checking some of our base platform usage. You just see like this spike up again. Yeah, we saw the most number of nodes we've ever had online. I think it was 953 when I saw it late my Friday night, which is probably early Thursday morning for the Northern Hemisphere, which was really cool. Like seeing that many nodes online, and we almost cracked the 4-digit number mark. Yeah, I was watching the number go up. Well, like you could see network traffic just going up with it as you would expect because there's more nodes on network. What I like about this is, again, this is all public, is yeah, you can clearly see, how many are online, who's online sharing. You can search for resource provider wallets. The code for this is actually also not actions. I'm gonna have to go there, but I will go out. It's got the build scripts in it. The web UI itself for that dashboard is actually public as well, and we're always looking for contributors to that. So if you are a front end dev or you just love adding to front end code, please check it out. It's using Tailwind and Next.js for the development stack, and PM. Oh, it's such a tongue twister. To do all the installation work alongside Node, of course, and Bun.js, which this is the first non-demo that I've used Bun.js for, and I was pretty impressed with Bun.js before. I actually did a blog post previously earlier in the year on some of the metrics around Node versus Bun.js runtimes, and yeah, Bun.js was coming out a lot quicker, which is pretty handy. And actually, the build for this goes pretty quick as well. So anyway, you can get involved and in the front end dashboard side of things. So if you have some metrics you think should be in there, or that you can add, or you wanted to tweak something, please open a pull request. All the templates and whatnot are in there for contributing or finding out how to contribute. On top of that, again, tune in for next week's AMA from the Northern Hemispheres, the Lilypad Northern Hemisphere DevRel team, because yeah, they'll be talking about the open source program, and we probably would have just launched it by then, or getting ready to launch it. I'd say it'll actually be launched by then, but stay tuned. Spoilers. The open source program is about to launch, is what I'm saying. So you can find out more about how to contribute and some of the associated rewards and whatnot for that as well. Anyway, the other thing you can do on this is also be able to see some of the node metrics. So each of the resource providers being able to share. Ooh, yeah, that query is getting a bit long. Oh, I need to optimize that query. This is just because we've got so many more nodes coming online. So anyway, and again, this is the point of our current phase, is to be able to test how everything will handle scale, and we want it to handle scale as easily as possible, as anyone does with scale. Anyway, you can dig around the Lilypad info dashboard more and see some metrics, some really cool metrics around the network. We actually have some fun metrics coming for this, including more of the job-centric side of things as well. So stay tuned for that. I've been running the data for this quite extensively, and yeah, it can have some interesting breakdowns, including you can see the jobs running per hour, which is kind of fun as well, just to know. Actually, that came about because we had a number of discussions from our community in Discord. I'll put the link up while I'm chatting because we are running out of time a little bit. Yep, there we go. Join us on Discord if you haven't yet. But yeah, we had a number of discussions from community around opening up windows for resource providers to be able to update some of their software and do do some housekeeping stuff without it affecting their scoring on network too, which was a great question to ask because yeah, as anyone would know, running server, like you need to take, there needs to be downtime for restarts, for upgrades, for like hardware to be configured out. So yeah, we were able to use the metrics from some of the day-to-day jobs being run to be able to open up different windows for different regions, for different resource providers, or look at how the mechanism behind how that would work. Anyway, check it out at info.lilypad.tech, and then you can click around and have a look at some of the metrics and see some of the more details about some of the resources attached to the network. Currently, the most number of nodes we have seen ever is at the count for it is at 1,105, which is amazingly cool. And thank you to everyone. We're going to have to actually, speaking of upgrades, at some point we're going to have to make that field bigger because it's going to have a lot more numbers in it. Just saying. We're going to need more room for those numbers to appear, which is a really nice problem to have. Just saying. And thank you for everyone that's already contributed resources. With that, I think we're out of time. Taosheng, did you have any last comments you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to mention?
Yes, for the dashboard, you can see yeah, you can see the numbers of the resource providers. I want just want to say one word: the earlier, the more rewards. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. And also, the longer you stay online, the more rewards too.
Yeah, please join as soon as possible.
Yes, and actually to find out more about how that works, we have all the write-ups on that link below, so lilypad.tech/incentivenet, and you can find out about our current phase and how it all works, how the Lily bits work, and all the different parts to, well, how that works. On that note, we will leave it there for this episode. And thank you everyone for joining us. It's always fun geeking out and well, chatting and seeing what questions we do have come in. Thank you to everyone that's not only joined us today, but also dropped those questions, comments, and emojis into the chat. I always love those, especially the emojis. Maybe in the next episode, someone will ask a question via emoji. Won't that be stumping? I'll be like, sunshine and car, and anyway, no, probably not. Actually, someone should try doing that. I reckon we're up for the challenge. Anyway, and we do like questions with a little character. Oh, that was a joke. Anyway, until next time, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you all soon. Actually, in 2 weeks. And remember, tune into the North American version of this show live stream next week, in the North American one with Alex and team, to find out about the open source program announcements. Let me switch over to the music. Taosheng, thank you again.
See you next week. I'll see you in the Discord.
Feel the surge, jumping to the future, it's time to emerge. Lilypad Network, we're here to stay, taking you on a journey in a groundbreaking way.